Hello everyone. So today we are starting with a new topic, that is photosynthesis. So when it comes to botany and when we talk about plant physiology, photosynthesis is a very important metabolic process, and this process is what makes the plants the most useful organisms on earth, because plants being autotrophs, they can prepare their own food, and hence this photosynthesis is an essential process. So plants have this wonderful ability to use light energy to drive the synthesis of organic compounds, and this physiochemical process is what is called photosynthesis. And the photosynthetic organisms will firstly they will convert light energy into chemical energy in the form of ATP and NADPH, and later they use these chemicals to reduce the carbon dioxide to produce organic compounds. So in this process, by the end of this process, a lot of different organic compounds are formed, which are actually essential for all the other organisms present on earth. So in the beginning, I said that plants are the organisms that carry out photosynthesis, but that is not entirely true, as there are other organisms that might carry out photosynthesis. So photosynthetic organisms can be divided into two categories, oxygenic and anoxygenic. So oxygenic, as the name suggests, they release molecular oxygen in the entire process. Anoxygenic organisms include eukaryotes, which are green plants and photosynthetic protists, as well as prokaryotes, which can be cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, as we commonly call them. And the second category is that of anoxygenic organisms, anoxygenic photosynthetic organisms, which do not release oxygen by the end of the process, and they include only prokaryotes, which are green and purple photosynthetic bacteria. Now, talking about how photosynthesis occurs, it occurs in two phases, light reaction and Calvin cycle. So we'll be discussing both of these reactions or these phases in detail in the upcoming videos, but today I just want to give you an introduction. In the light reaction, as the name suggests, it occurs in the presence of light, or sunlight to be specific. This light is absorbed by the pigments, chlorophyll pigments that are present in the thylakoid, and in this process water is broken down to release molecular oxygen. Also ATP and NADPH are formed, which are the chemical forms of energy. The ATP and NADPH molecules, which are formed during the light reaction, are then used during the Calvin cycle to fix carbon dioxide and convert it into different organic molecules. So in this entire process is very clearly distinctive, divided into two phases rather, light reaction and the Calvin cycle. Light reaction is where sunlight is converted into chemical forms of energy, which is ATP and NADPH, and then this ATP and NADPH is then used to drive the fixation of carbon dioxide in the Calvin cycle or the dark phase.